On Christmas Eve I had an idea. I was thinking about some of the people that I knew who were out of work, who in a difficult economy were struggling somewhat, not because they weren't good people, not because they weren't employable, but simply because there were so many people in a similar situation. Every job that gets offered, that people are qualified for, they find that they're in competition with dozens of other people trying to get the same thing. And increasingly, the job interview, which in former days has been a bit of a formality, is now of much greater importance in the job application process. And people often aren't trained, aren't educated in how to do a good job at a job interview. So I thought, okay, look, here's something that I can do quite practically in order to help. I've trained people to interview. I've also trained people to do well in interviews. So in other words, I can see both sides of the table, and I know what I won't call them tricks, but what the techniques are in order to make the most of your interview opportunity and to turn that into a job. So I thought, well, one of the things that I could probably do is make that in a form that's more widely accessible to people. And as you probably know, one of the other things that I do is I spend quite a lot of time making these things, making travellers' notebook covers out of leather. And I thought, well, actually, one of the secrets of interviewing well is to look good and to present yourself professionally. and I think going into an interview with something like this, can earn you a couple of points. It's not going to get you the job on its own, but it's something that will help. So what I decided to do was to make a few of these and give them away effectively. So what I did in a Facebook group was to advertise the fact that I was going to do this, and I asked people to put their hands up and say, yeah, I know someone who is struggling, who is looking for a job and not having an awful lot of luck, and I'd like them to have one of these because I think it will make a difference. So I selected the first 6 people who asked for this help, and crucially who were also prepared to say, and look, here's what I'll do for them, here's how I'm going to help them as well. And that might have been paying for their travels to the interview, or it might have been coaching them on interview skills, whatever it was, they were prepared to do something. So I agreed to support that by providing this traveller's notebook for the person who wanted to get a job. So 6 of those are about to fly out, mostly to North America. But I thought, well, before they go, let me show you what's in them, and let me also give you the tools that I've used here that you can use to help someone in a similar situation, if you want to, or maybe you're in that situation and this is something that you can do to help yourself. So just a quick look through the Traveller's Notebook to show what's coming out to folks, what they can expect to receive. The notebook cover, it's going to be in a professional colour. It won't always be brown. I think a couple of them are sort of a sober dark green. All of them kick off with a monthly diary for the next 2 years, so covering 2015-2016, month to review. That's fairly straightforward. They also both contain a notebook. I think some of them are blank, some of them are lined, but a blank notebook. And all of them, crucially, have got this new insert in, the new job interview workbook, which once the muse hit me, I sort of put together in about a 24-hour period. Must thank my wife and also Crafty Ali, who gave up part of their Boxing Day celebrations to proofread this for me. It's a fairly short book, but the idea is you can work through it in sort of a morning or an afternoon, and doing so will enable you to ace the job interview. So it talks about the importance of an interview, what an interview is actually about, what's going to happen at the interview, what the main steps would be, what structured questioning you can expect and what that's for, and then it turns into a sort of workbook where it asks you questions and you now note down the answers as part of preparing for the interview. So for instance, it's got a whole bunch of questions that you would normally expect excuse me, a decent interviewer, and you probably will have a decent interviewer, to ask you in an interview. There's also a special section for management jobs and some additional questions that you'd be asked if the job that you're applying for has a significant leadership or management slant to it. So that's the book, and the whole thing sort of together is a sort of professional interview or job hunting kit, I suppose. So those are all going to be flying out in the next few days, and hopefully the recipients can make good use of those. The book itself, at the heart of this system, is available to anyone for free. I'm going to put some links below in the video description. And what you'll be able to do is to download a full version of the booklet, which you can print at home. So if you want to prepare for an interview that's coming up, you can print this off and use it yourself. If you have friends who you think need a little help, it would be a nice thing to do to download it, print it off for them. There are versions that will download for printing onto A4 paper. There are versions that will print onto letter paper, and you can also separately download the cover in either format, which you can print onto a card. But it will stand alone without the cover. If you don't have card, that's no problem at all. And I think, the more of these that people can download and give people, I think that the greater collective effort that we all make, the more deserving people we can get into work, which will benefit them, benefit their families obviously, but also benefit society generally. So I'd strongly encourage anyone who's thinking, do I really want to do that? Yeah, go on, do it. It's free. It won't cost you anything except time, a little bit of paper and a little bit of printing ink. But it can make a huge difference for somebody. So please follow the links below, please do it. You want to, really. Oh, and happy Christmas. If you're watching this at roughly the time I recorded it, it's between Christmas and New Year's Day, so happy Christmas, and have a good New Year.